Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Peace in New York. Today, we're in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, and we're going to Paulie Gee Slice Shop. Now, Paulie Gee is actually known as one of the best pizza makers in all of New York City. He's been featured in YouTube's Chef's Night Out, as well as a number of different publications, praising him for the quality of pizza that he pumps out. Now, the Paulie Gee's original shop is more of a Neapolitan pizzeria, where this one pays homage to the slices of New York City. So it's going to be a little bit of a different style. And what I mean by paying homage, he actually has a slice called the Freddie Prince. That's not named after the actor or comedian Freddie Prince, but is named after Freddie's Pizza in Queens, which has the sesame seed crust, as well as Prince Street Pizza, which is famous for the Soho Square. So this man just absolutely lives, breathes pizza. Let's go inside, check it out, and see what they're all about. First impression, this place is awesome. Total retro throwback. You walk in here, there's pictures of like old Yankees along the walls, stuff from the 70s. And then on top of that, they have some of your classics playing on the television. They have Saved by the Bell going on right now. Also, the orange boots pay homage to one of Paulie Gee's favorite pizzerias in New Jersey. So not just being a pizza fanatic, the guy loves pizza. Paying homage to different pizzerias that he absolutely loves. He has different styles of pizza. You go to Paulie Gee's, it's going to be Neapolitan. You're going to come here, it's going to be a step up of the traditional New York slice shop that can be, let's be honest, a little bit cheap at times, but still delicious. The quality of pizza here that he's really trying to bring to the people of New York is really what separates him from so many other pizzerias in New York City. So I'm really excited to sink my teeth in some of the delicious slices that they do have here at Paulie Gee Slice Shop. Coming at you, we have 4 delicious slices. We have the mozz, which is pecorino, garlic, as well as mozzarella. Then we have the grandma slice, which is tomato sauce, basil, and mozzarella. And then we have the Hellboy, which is your traditional pepperoni pizza with a little bit of hot honey on there as well. And then we got the Freddie Prince, which we also converted that to a Hellboy squared. So it's going to have that delicious sesame seed crust underneath, but then it's also going to have the hot honey as well as pepperoni. First up, I'm going to go with the mozz. A white pie. Going to have a much softer crust, not going to be as burnt as the other ones, because when you don't have that red sauce, it's going to cook faster. So we'll notice, even if we take a look at the bottom, it's not going to be as charred as it normally is. Cheers. I love myself a white pie. If you were a fan of garlic, that was the dominating flavor in this slice, but it also had the sharpness of the pecorino, which was so delicious, and then just the creaminess of the mozzarella on top of it, and then it all came together with a nice, soft, delicious crust. Not too crispy because it does not cook as long, but man, if you are looking for a rich slice of pizza in the morning or whenever, this is going to be a rich slice because it just has all the creaminess of the cheeses coming together. It has that sharpness and then the delicious garlic wrapping everything together in once. First bite at Paulie Gee's, and I'm impressed. Next up, we have the grandma slice, which is going to have that mozzarella. It's going to have tomato sauce and then some basil as well. Here we go. Cheers. I'm not sure how the other square slice is going to be, but this one definitely made with a sourdough crust. So when you take a bite into this, it's just like, wow, that's like some sourdough bread that I'm taking a bite into with some delicious cheese on it. It's a hint of touch sweeter, but I will say that the crust seemed to be the dominating flavor. As we talk about, crust really is the basis of pizza. It's going to make sure that that's really the quality of your pizza is wrapped up in the crust. So this sourdough bread, if you weren't expecting it, I wasn't expecting it. It was a delightful surprise. Not something that I would order again if I did come back here, just because I kind of like the more traditional flour, 00 flour, not so much sourdough. But this is a delicious slice. Also, I noticed on this slice, the sweetness of the tomato sauce. It has a hint of sweetness. You'll either get a sour flavor with tomato sauce or a bit of a more sweeter side. It's going to have the sweetness of, it's going to be on the sweeter side. The basil also adds some sweetness to it. So you kind of have this overwhelming sourdough crust flavor with the hint of sweetness that the other ingredients will add. Next, we got the Hellboy. This is a slice that they serve over at Paulie Gee's. It's going to be different because at Paulie Gee's they serve more Neapolitan slice. This is more like a slice shop, grab and go. Just take a look at it. You can see those pepperonis. You can see some of that hot honey dripping off of that. Ooh. Also notice when I went to go fold it, it has a nice crispy burnt bottom. Here we go. There's a ton of flavor in that slice right there. As soon as I stuck it in my mouth, the spiciness of the pepperoni as well as the hot honey kind of, as I like to say, it cleared the nostrils. It cleared the sinuses. But then when you take a bite and you start eating it, also you're going to get that delicious sweetness of the honey as well. So you just have a combination of spiciness, sweetness, and then the burnt crust added a nice crispy texture to it, which the crispiness of the pepperonis, the crispiness of the burnt crust, and then just the delicious sweetness as well as hot spiciness of the ingredients. You had a ton of flavor coming at you with the Hellboy. Lastly, we have the combo that we got of the Freddie Prince as well as the Hellboy. So we had a Freddie Prince slice, then we had them throw pepperonis on there, and then also the hot honey to make it the Hellboy squared. Yep, have that sesame seed crust bottom, and we have that delicious hot honey. Here we go. I don't know what it was, maybe it was more of the hot honey, but this slice right here actually tasted sweeter than the slice that I just had, and they were pretty much the same exact thing. Maybe the tomato sauce on this is a little bit sweeter as well. I know traditionally with Sicilian slices compared to regular slices, they use a different type of sauce. That's a lot heavier, doesn't really crush up the tomatoes as fine as another tomato sauce that goes on a regular slice might. But this slice tasted much sweeter. The crispiness of the thick bread was also fantastic. I love this slice. I'm a big fan of Sicilian slices. If you like thick bread, Sicilian definitely is the way to go. But my goodness, what a delicious slice that we just had. When we go outside, I'm going to have to rank these 1 through 4 to let you all know which one was my favorite. Well, folks, that concludes our day here in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And I have to say, it was a tremendous experience. Paulie Gee definitely knows what he's doing when he's bringing slices, pizza to your community. And if I'm ranking them 1 to 4, I have to go with number 1, that Freddie Prince slice that we actually converted into a Hellboy. Just the crispiness of the delicious crust. On top of that, the contrast that they had in flavors with the sweetness as well as the spiciness made it absolutely fantastic. And one of the things that the director pointed out was that the honey was actually caramelized on the bottom of the crust, giving it that extra sweetness delight. So if you have a sweet tooth, the Hellboy with the Freddie Prince slice is actually the way to go. So it would be the Hellboy squared. Now if I'm going 2 and 3, it's interchangeable between that Moss slice as well as the Hellboy slice that we had. The Moss slice, I absolutely loved it with the chewiness of that crust that wasn't quite as cooked as much as the other slices because it was a white slice. On top of that, it had the sharpness of the pecorino, of the garlic, and then the creaminess of the mozzarella, just bringing all these different textures together in one, as well as a number of different flavors. So that Moss is a slice that you shouldn't skip out on, but also the sweetness of the Hellboy slice. I mean, that burnt crust that they have that had a nice crispy texture to also the contrast and flavors that we discussed with the Hellboy squared, where you have the sweetness and the spiciness. So those are 2 slices also that I wouldn't sleep on. Those 2 come in interchangeable, 2 and 3 for me. And then lastly, we have the grandma slice. Grandma slice, I got to be honest, folks, it just wasn't really for me. Didn't really have the flavor that the other 3 slices did have. Sure, we had some mozzarella on it. We had the tomato sauce, the basil, but the overwhelming flavor was that sourdough bread crust. So it just didn't really have the kick that the other ones did have. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just a slice that I wouldn't get again if I did come back here. But those first 3, my goodness, if you are looking for a good slice and you're here in Greenpoint, don't skip out on Paulie Gee's because you will definitely be satisfied. Thank you for the views. Thank you for the subscribes. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you enjoy the content, give us a subscribe. We hope you have a great day and a better week. Take it easy, y'all. Bye-bye.